Hollywood, the heart of the entertainment world, the Hollywood Palace. With your host, Don Adams. Tonight, Big Brother and the Holding Company. The Brothers Castro. Dovyeko. Arte Johnson. Titulares of the Hollywood Palace Orchestra. We'll return to the Hollywood Palace after a word from one of our sponsors.
For the most important cleanup job in the house, I wouldn't use anything but the disinfectant toilet bowl cleaner from Lysol. It does more than just clean. It keeps the bowl cleaner between cleanups. That's because it puts on a protective shield to fight stain and germ buildup. Makes the whole bathroom smell clean and fresh, too. Get Lysol Toilet Bowl Cleaner. It keeps the bowl cleaner between cleanups.
This is the time of year you can almost expect to get a cold or the flu. So be prepared to follow the 3 steps doctors recommend. Rest in bed, like Roger here. Drink plenty of fluids. And take aspirin to reduce fever and relieve pain. Take Bayer aspirin, because Bayer is pure aspirin, and aspirin is what doctors recommend. For the aches and fever of cold or flu, Bayer works wonders.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is your host, the star of Get Smart, Don Adams.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the Hollywood Palace. Our show tonight is so jam-packed with great entertainment that we had to throw out the opening number. But you would have loved it. We had 200 scantily clad Tahitian beauties backed up by 350 fantastic lovelies from Samoa doing a topless Watusi. Would you believe Sebastian Cabot and Shirley Temple doing the Lambeth Walk? How does Dorothy Lamour and William Buckley grab you? But this is a nice change of pace for me to be here and get away from playing Maxwell Smart for a while. Although my training as a secret agent does give me access to some highly classified information. I'm probably the only one who knows who Howard Hughes really is. Tiny Tim. Speaking of Tiny Tim, that naturally brings us to the subject of submarines. It may interest you to know the latest news. The Russians have done it again. The new Russian atomic submarine has just set a new world's record of 2 minutes and 48 seconds for surfacing, firing, and submerging again. This cuts 2 minutes off the previous world's record. And I think that these men deserve a lot of credit, especially the ones who were left on deck. Aggie, we'd like to get on with the show now, and I must tell you how happy we are to have the star of I Dream of Jeannie with us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful Miss Barbara Eden.
Yes, sirree, matey, I feel 80 feet tall. My heavens above, everyone loves everybody, and we're having a big, beautiful ball. Funny old world, I just adore you. Fondly I implore you, you old troubadour, you please. When you get ready, I'd like to go go steady. And G, take it from me, it'll be groovy. 'Cause there's somebody up there digging a song. Old chappie, it ends happy just like in a movie. We're having a big, beautiful ball.
Barbara, that was just fantastic. Just incredible. I couldn't take my eyes off you for a moment.
Really?
Yes. How could I? You were so alluring, so vibrant, so alive.
Oh, well, thank you, Don. I loved singing and dancing on the show tonight.
Yes. Well, I know how you feel. I guess it's nice not to have to come out of a bottle all the time.
Oh, I don't mind. If it's good enough for Dean Martin, it's good enough for me.
Yes, well, you're pretty lucky at that. You only have to do it once a week. He does it every night. Barbara, thanks for being with us. Barbara.
Thanks, Martin.
She really is a beautiful girl. She reminds me a little bit of my wife. My wife is a beautiful girl, too. Well, we've been married for 7 years now, I guess, and we're very happy. We don't have any children as yet, but I don't think that's important. There's plenty of time for that. The important thing is that my wife loves me, and she thinks I'm the funniest man in the world. Laughs at everything I say, everything I do. That's why we don't have any children.
Jane? Jane, I need more nails. Jane?
Here you are.
Oh, it's you, huh?
See, you're adding a room.
Hey, you got a cigarette?
Yeah, sure.
Switched to Raleigh filters, eh? Decided you wanted to taste a cigarette.
Well, good taste is what a cigarette's all about, isn't it? So I'm smoking Raleigh.
Those coupons are a good idea, too. That's how I got most of my tools.
Come to Raleigh Filters. Come to good taste. And remember, the famous Raleigh coupon also comes on light menthol Bel Air.
Bel Air tastes light, 'cause the menthol's right. Bel Air tastes light, 'cause the menthol's right. Just the right touch of menthol, with the right filter, too.
You get a special kind of lightness when you smoke Bel Air. Special because the menthol's right.
Our next guest is Arte Johnson, the hilarious comedian with the German accent on laughing. Unfortunately, Arte isn't here tonight. He's over at Otto Preminger's house, simonizing his head. So in his place, Audie has sent us one of the biggest stars in show business from behind the Iron Curtain. Here he is, Pietro Rozmenko. Welcome to the United States, Mr. Rozmenko, and tell you, how do you like it here in the United States? Yes, well, that's easy for you to say.
Good check. How do you like it, my new soup?
Your new soup?
That's right.
Your soup, right. Yes. Well, in the words of my good friend Don Rickles, if you have a Ferris wheel and some cotton candy and a horse that sweats a lot, it's nice. I understand that you came over here on the Aeroflot jet.
That's right. I come over here on the proud bird with the red tail. It was a non-stop flight with one stop. We got hijacked in the Havana. But it's great honor to be here tonight, Your Highness.
Your Highness?
Yes, I see a big sign out front. Palace. I figure it you must be Your Highness. This is beautiful palace, pretty lights, like another palace we have in my country, Lenin's tomb.
Well, a lot of acts die here, too, you know. A lot of things have been happening lately behind the Iron Curtain, Mr. Rozmenko, and how are things there right now?
Well, this is the most beautiful time of the year. The snow comes down and covers everything, and the people come out and they work it in the snow. All day they work it in the snow. That's my country. One big snow job.
Well, you know, Mr. Rozmenko, you come here highly recommended as an entertainer.
It's amazing. I am big star behind Iron Curtain. I use it to have my own show every week.
Television?
Yes, one station, government-owned, UHF. You've been followed.
What was the name of your show?
It's our own version of Latin called Cry Out.
Well, tell me, Mr. Rozmenko, what are you going to do for the folks here tonight?
Well, I would like it to do a song that become its big hit because of my usage of it. It's a big hit on the Great Red Way in Moscow.
Well, we'd love to hear it.
I would sing thank you very
much. Mr. Rozmenko.
No bachulici boraviano pujače čiloholujuci cimoj. Da cholujoč tu duch pujvonjoč spriječich lajoti. Doja, mačov daloj sadabja, cioche. Майох на почало халало Юже Там нюхтало цахає води Петаховує водовуй Чим те хтохтайло цацет Яці пахалога багалай Я чуть-чуть хноєць Поїхати пали піць хає Я вчопе ти мене Лахко подаю Твіди витявай Ак шохтало хало Цвіти пехалвона балавай Chalacie, they want the light, all of that, Mako, Pacho, Makalai, Yasko, Palachi, Makayo, everybody sing! Yasko, Lucha, Valley, Pietich, Lucha, Black, Joy, Jay, Astuka, Palava, Rai, Yachubi, Very Chikola, Mastola, Bachmi, the Mont, Pui, Astoli, Orasto, Bully, Hachbu, Chikola, Pumi, Happy, Nicholas, Okala, Capilla,
Johnson. He's just great. This is the little guy that makes everybody laugh with very interesting. I'm laughing. Artie, you know, with your Laugh-In album and your TV show, you've been a tremendous success. I want to congratulate you.
Thank you, Don. But as you know, like for all of us, it takes a long time. I came here once I started breathing. About 10 years ago with a lot of stars in my eyes and wound up selling clothes in a men's clothing store. But whenever I got a job in the
Got a little oxygen here for this man?
I don't know how those Russians do it.
Artie,
I do know how they do it.
If I were you, I'd get an examination quickly.
The doctor's waiting. Well, actually, finally, Laugh-In came along, and I said 2 little words. Very interesting. And that gimmick did it.
Yes. Well, it's a strange business. It took me a long time, too, Artie, but I never used a gimmick. Would you believe half a gimmick?
Very interesting.
The author of The Paper Lion, George Plimpton, talks about Oldsmobile.
I've offered these hard-working fellows a lift to the showers after practice. I find you can make extravagant offers like that when you have a spacious Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser like this. Another aspect of the Vista Cruiser which strikes me is the tremendous visibility. There are windows everywhere. 11 of them. Now, these 3 windows on the roof let in the light, but not the heat. Then there's this new tailgate that's available. It works 2 ways. It lowers or raises in the usual fashion, or it swings out of the way, like this. It's Hey, come back here!
Escape from the ordinary in the bright and spacious world of the 11-window Vista Cruiser. Try young mobile thinking at your Oldsmobile dealers.
The Brothers Castro, a very popular recording group, just came up from their native Mexico for an exclusive appearance on tonight's Hollywood Palace. They tell me they're having a marvelous time here, except for the water. Here they are, ladies and gentlemen, the Brothers Castro.
My você bater no peito. Baixinho, quase calar de coração apaixonado por você. Menina, menina, que não sabe que eu sou. Menina, que não conhece o meu amor. Quando você passa não me olha, mas eu olho pra você. Você não me diz nada, mas eu digo pra você. Você pode me chorar, mas eu choro por você. Você por mim não chora, mas eu choro por você. Vai o pá, vai o pá, vai o pá, vai o pá, vai o pá. Vai o pá, vai o pá, vai o pá, vai o pá, vai o pá. Everybody, come on. Come on, baby. Por causa de você bater meu peito, baixinho quase calado, coração apaixonado por você. Menina, menina, que não sabe que eu sou. Menina, que não conhece o meu amor, pois você passa não me olha, mas eu olho pra você. Você não me diz nada, mas eu digo pra você. Você por mim não chora, mas eu choro por você. Você por mim não chora, mas eu choro por você. Vai o pá, 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 pá. Vai o pá, 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 pá. La 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 la, la 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 la.
Today, more than ever, the emphasis all over America is on the preservation of law and order. With that in mind, I would like to take you into the courtroom to watch one of the country's outstanding criminal lawyers in action. I call him the Big Mouthpiece. Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, for the past 20 minutes I have sat idly by while my worthy opponent, the prosecuting attorney, has stood up here and made a complete ass of himself. Now it's my turn. Now, the case here is very simple. The defendant, Mrs. Irving Glick, murdered her husband. But that's not the important thing. It's important to Mr. Glick. But the important thing here is that she had a reason. You see, she loved him. And each man kills the thing he loves. Some do it with a kiss, some with a caress, some with a smile. She did it with 6 slugs from a .45 automatic. And for this, she has been subjected to the threats of this court. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, she should have been given a medal. Those 6 slugs are right between the eyes. That's marksman's medal, everybody knows that. Now, the prosecuting attorney has stood up here and called her a liar, a cheat, a thief, a blackmailer, and a homicidal maniac. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, none of us are perfect. Now I ask you to look at my client sitting over there, and I want you to pay particular attention to her legs. The dimpled knee, the well-turned calf, the slim ankle. Now I ask you, are those the legs of a homicidal maniac? Of course not. Do you have any idea of what my client has been through since this trial began? Beaten and badgered on all sides by questions until now, look at her, she sits on the edge of her chair, half crazed with grief, hanging on your every word, your every look, her nerves like a taut spring ready to snap. Bailiff, Will you please wake the defendant up? Set her up in a seat. This is a courtroom. Now it's easy for the prosecuting attorney to accuse my clients of all these horrible crimes. It's easy for him. He's got proof. Now, what about me? I've got nothing but trickery and deceit. Okay, let's see what we can do with that. Your Honor, I object, and I object strenuously to the unfair... Your Honor? Bailiff, will you please wake the judge out? I'm sorry, I was talking in your sleep, Your Honor. As I say, I object, and I object strenuously to the unfair and unethical methods of the prosecuting attorney in trying to influence the foreman of this jury, Mr. George Graft, who we all know is a fine and upstanding citizen of this community and above reproach. Incidentally, Mr. Graft, it has come to my attention that today is your birthday. So, Mrs. Glick and I, we sort of chipped in and bought you this little watch. Read the inscription on the back. To the foreman of the jury that acquitted Mrs. Irving Glick. You can have it right after the verdict is in. And now, Your Honor, I would like to call to the stand the prosecution's star witness. Harry Starr, take the stand. Now, Mr. Starr, did you or did you not say that it was Bikini and not Biloxi who was seen at Matassi's place that night? And did you not also infer that Yomi could not possibly have been in Chicago with the Matassi gang on the night when Freebish was seen leaving Hofnagel's apartment? With the result that it wasn't until the Tuesday following the aforementioned Friday, January the 19th, that you found the pawn ticket in Vandercliff's overcoat. Yet you say that Alice Gratz knew because she was afraid of McNamara. And on the strength of this, you would have this court and this jury believe that Glock was in the tannery that night with Fink's Cocker Spaniel. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I have here in my pocket an excerpt from the 1953 Old Farmer's Almanac, which states clearly and precisely beyond a shadow of a doubt that on the night in question, there was no moon. And if there was no moon, Mr. Starr, then how could you possibly have seen the defendant when she pumped those 6 slugs into her husband's head? She was inside and all the lights were on. Get him off the stand. He disgusts me. I never did trust old farmers anyway. Now, Your Honor, I should like to call to the stand the defendant. Well, wake her up and get her up in the stand. Now, Mrs. Glick, would you kindly tell this court what you were doing on the night of January the 19th? Automobile riding in Lover's Lane. And what were you doing last night? Automobile riding in Lover's Lane. What are you doing tonight? I'm sorry, Your Honor. I didn't know you had asked first. And now I should like to sum up briefly. After hearing all the evidence in this case, in all justice, there is only one possible verdict you can bring in. However, I'm hoping you'll forget about justice and bring in a verdict of not guilty. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, give my client a chance to walk in the sun once more with the wind and the rain in her hair. Give her a chance, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Bailiff. Bailiff. The defense rests. I might as well. Everyone else is. Thank you very much. We'll be back in a moment with the red-hot Big Brother and the Holding Company with Janis Joplin, Arte Johnson, the fantastic Dovyeko troupe from the Moscow Circus, and lots more in the Hollywood Palace. Thank you.
Lots more in the Hollywood Palace.
Mother, can't you sleep again? I keep telling you about Nighthawk. How do I know they'll work?
Would you believe good housekeeping? Look, Nitol has the good housekeeping seal.
Really?
So you know it's safe. Just follow directions and non-habit forming. It's different from other sleeping tablets, too.
Different?
It dissolves faster, so it helps you get to sleep fast. And you wake up feeling good.
Well, if it has that good housekeeping seal.
We'd like to start the second half of our show with a truly amazing attraction from the Moscow Circus. We sent our cameras to San Diego to photograph them exclusively for the Hollywood Palace. The fantastic Dovyeko troupe. Going to see one of the most fantastic and unbelievable feats ever performed. Alexander Zobnev, on 7-foot stilts, will be projected 30 feet into the air, do a complete turn, and land upright on stilts. The Dovyeko troupe, aren't they marvelous? They're really great. In case you didn't believe it the first time, here's that fantastic 30-foot leap again in slow motion. Unbelievable. You know, those fellows told me something very interesting. They said that a lot of people in Moscow use stilts to watch military parades. They have to because the Russian parades start in Czechoslovakia. We'll be right back with Big Brother and the Holding Company.
Burn up your energy, work up a mighty thirst, then belt down a cold Pepsi-Cola. It puts back your energy and tastes better cold than any other soft drink in the world. Put it to the taste.
Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on. Pepsi's got that special taste created for the cold. The cold turns on that Pepsi drive, makes Pepsi-Cola come alive. Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on. Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on.
Okay, kids, here they are, the hottest group in the country. Big Brother and the Holding Company with Janis Joplin.
Fish are jumping now. Hey, the cotton, Lord, cotton's high. Not so high. Oh, your time is rich. And your mom, she's good looking now. She's looking good now. Baby, 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 baby. No, 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 don't you cry. Don't you cry. gonna spread your wings, Charlie, take to the sky, love the sky, wanna tell that morning, honey, nothing's going to harm me, babe. Understand me, baby. Why I need a man to love. Yeah, I gotta find him, I gotta have him right there. I breathe. One loving man to understand. Can't be too much to need, you know it. Can't be now, can't be now, can't be now, can't be now, can't be now. Can't be just loneliness. Wow, wow, surround me. No, it just cannot be, babe. No, it just can't be. Oh, no, there's got to be some kind of answer. No, it just can't be. No. Oh, whenever I look, child, there's another red. No, it just can't be. Wow, can't be. No, it just can't be. Whoa, hear me now. Whoa, won't you let me hold you? Oh, honey, just close your eyes. Wow, won't you let me hold you, dear? Yeah, I wanna just put my arms around you like the sun's going around the sun. Let me hold you, daddy, at least until the morning comes, because it can't be now, 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 can't be just loneliness. Wow, surrounding me. No, it just cannot be bad. No, it just can't be. No. Oh, baby, 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 baby. I know everybody needs a little help sometimes. No, it just can't be. Wow, this is my time, you know it is. No, it just can't be. Wow, it can't be. No, it just can't be.
absolutely great, Janis. I just thought you were wonderful. You know, you were written up recently in Life magazine, and I have a copy here, and I'd like to read what you were quoted as saying about your music. The audience sitting down is a weird trip. It's like separateness. But when they're dancing, they're doing it with you. Like you said it to them, and they've got it, and you can play freer and freer. Would you care to elaborate on that?
It sounds different when you say it. It's sort of like you as a performer would understand like an audience communicating with a performer, right? It's instead of like one giving and one receiving, it's like a reciprocal thing. When an audience is dancing, they're communicating with you, and you know that you're getting to them, and they're grooving, and you're grooving, and it's sort of like in feedback. Do you know what feedback is in amplifiers?
Yes.
When you play the note too loud, and the amplifier play it back, and you play it back, and it goes round and back, and it just makes everything go higher and higher.
I see. Well, that clears it up. No, I understand. I don't know what... Yeah, I do. No. I used to sing like that, but I used to get terrible cramps, so I gave it up. No, we'll be right back after the holding company merges with the Dow Jones and the Industrials.
Mrs. Paul's onion rings now in a big party pack. They're fun.
At last, there's a cure for the common sandwich. Fast relief from everyday type sandwiches. The remedy, Mrs. Paul's sandwich thins. Tasty seafood thin shaped especially for sandwiches. Clever. And just to make sure you don't get sandwich boredom again, Mrs. Paul's makes clam, shrimp, and fish cake sandwich thins. And they all come with miracle sauce mix. Remember, a sandwich thin a day keeps sandwich boredom away.
Good afternoon. This is your roving reporter speaking to you from the playing field of Phillips Academy at Andover. It's now halftime, and standing near me is one of the great football coaches of all time, a man known in sports circles as Mr. Football. His name, Leon Football. Now, let's see if we can have a few words with him.
Let's move out there. Everybody move out. Come on, get that ball moving.
Mr. Football.
Oh, hi there.
Mr. Football, your team is losing 87-0. What would you say was your biggest mistake so far?
Showing up for the game.
I see. What I mean is, what do you think hurt you the most?
Well, that 1,200-yard penalty didn't do us any good.
I see. A 1,200-yard penalty?
Yes, for piling on.
There was a lot of that, huh?
Yes, and there wouldn't be so much piling on if Naglansky would stop tackling that big blonde Swede.
You mean Johansson, their fullback?
No, I mean Gertrude, their majorette.
No.
She's really something.
Yes, well, Mr. Football...
I piled on a few times myself.
Mr. Football...
She's got legs that go
Mr. Football...
What is it?
Mr. Football, your halfback, Arnold Vanoff, weighs only 98 pounds, yet you have sent him crashing into the center of that huge enemy line on 36 successive plays without blocking. Why is that?
I don't like Arnold.
I see. Mr. Football, do you have any good kickers on your team?
Are you kidding? Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Are you kidding? Twinkle Toes Harback can kick a football 175 yards into a raging wind. Would you believe it? 175 yards.
That's really pretty hard to believe.
Would you believe 50 yards?
Well, I really don't think so.
What if he kicked it 4 or 5 times?
I see. Mr. Football, what are your school colors?
Orange, blue, and gold.
I see.
Red, white, and yellow.
Yes, well...
Purple, brown, indigo, fuchsia, violet, and chartreuse.
Well, that's fine, but Mr.
Green,
Football...
lavender, lace, orange, taffeta, off-white, polka dots, burnt sienna stripes, and misty pink.
Well, I see. Well, that certainly sounds colorful.
Yes, and that's just our helmets.
Oh, right. Mr. Football, in all your years of coaching, what would you say was your biggest triumph?
My biggest triumph? Yes, let's see, my biggest triumph. That was the time that we played the Pittsburgh Steelers. The team carried me off the field on their shoulders that time.
It must have been a thrilling game.
Yes, we were losing 165-0 going into the last quarter.
And you came back to win?
No, I called off the last quarter.
I see.
That's why they carried me off the field on
I
their
see,
shoulders.
I understand, yes. Do you think that teamwork is very important in football?
Yes, teamwork is very important in football. I've said many times that a good quarterback and a good end go hand in hand.
I see.
But not on the campus.
Yes.
Gets a lot of people talking around the college.
Mr. Football, yes, Mr. Football, would you like to say a word to the youth of America about clean sportsmanship?
Yes. Football is like the game of love. You win a few and you lose a few. But the important thing is, did you score?
Do you soak your dentures clean? You can brush them cleaner with Denture Cream. Look, we soaked that heavy lipstick stain, soaked it all night in the leading tablet cleanser. Even with soaking and vigorous brushing, that denture material is still stained. Now try Denture Cream, the powerful denture toothpaste. In no time, Denture Cream scrubs, brushes, polishes dentures clean, leaves your mouth toothpaste fresh. See the difference? Denture Cream outcleans your soak.
I've had a lot of fun in the Hollywood Palace tonight, and before I go, I'd like to leave you with this reminder. If you can tell it like it is, and do your thing, and know where it's at, and find your bag, and sock it to them, and don't get uptight, and let it all hang out, you're under arrest. Next week, your host will be Sammy Davis Jr. Thank you so much. Good night.
Travel arrangements for overseas acts and promotional consideration furnished by Pan American World Airways, the world's most experienced airline. Pan Am makes the going great. This is Dick Tufel speaking.